So we want to take a look at the experience of our application, and clicking between the filters results in a full page reload, and there's a solution to this. And sites like Netflix, for example, use placeholders that replace our actual content with some animated placeholder that displays whilst we're waiting for something to load. And Semantic UI React in a recent edition introduced placeholders. So we can make use of these to display something other than a full page loader whilst we're waiting for our activities to load. They're animated, so you can see this cool effect that goes across as we're waiting to signify that loading is taking place. So we'll make use of these, and what we can do is we can head back to VS Code, and inside our activities and dashboard, because this is where we're going to make use of them, we'll create a new file and we'll call it activity list item placeholder.tsx. And what we'll do for this, because it's a bit verbose and it's really just using semantic UI components to do this, what I've got is a snippet to help us out with this. So inside the student assets folder, we have a snippet for our activity list item placeholder. And if we take a look at the contents inside here, then, well, let's just copy it all into our clipboard and paste it into our new component. And let's just take a look at what's really going on here. So we've got a fragment that surrounds our elements here, then we've got the placeholder component, and it's fluid and it's got a style of margin top. And what this is really is just trying to match the formatting of our activity list items as closely as possible, or as near as I can get it, with faffing about adding components and different placeholder elements in different places. But the goal is to get it looking similar-ish to our activity items themselves, so that when we're loading, instead of displaying a full page loader, we're just going to display a couple of these placeholder items and not display a full loader. So what we can do with this in place, we can head over to our activity dashboard again. And what we're going to do is we're going to replace this full page loader. So this is going to go. So we'll remove that. And then inside our grid column, what we'll do is we'll check to see the activity store.loading initial, and we're not loading next. And we'll use a ternary, so we'll add a question mark, open some parentheses, and what we'll do is we'll just add a fragment shortcut, and inside here we'll just add two of our activity list item placeholders. So we'll just add that one there, we'll copy it down one more time, and then if we're not loading, then we're going to display our actual activities. So we'll add a colon, and we'll just cut and paste our infinite scroll with our activity list inside there. And what we should find now, if we go test and go back to our browser, let's just refresh the page first of all. And we can see our activities loading after we've loaded the app, because we still need to go and get our user. That deserves a full page load because we cannot display anything else until we have our user object back. But now if I click between the different options, we can see the difference it makes. It makes for a much cleaner user interface as we click around the different options. We can still load the rest of our activities. Our vertical scrolling is still in place, and then we can go back to all activities, and it just makes for a much nicer user experience, as I'm sure you will agree. So we've got our dashboard filtering, we've got our dashboard paging, and what we need to take a look at next, if we go and click on a user, then we need to take care of what's inside this component or this contents area. And we want to display a list of activities a user is attending or hosting, or a list of activities they've been to in the past. And we'll take a look at that next.